My name is Marlon. I'm 32, and this is my testimony in becoming a Christian, finding God, becoming a believer of Jesus. So I grew up pretty in a bad family. You know, I don't want to. My dad was an alcoholic, did a lot of drugs, and it wasn't really good for children to be around that kind of environment. My mother, you know, bless her heart, she did the best that she could, but you know, she was emotionally abusive, you know what I mean? And I believe that now, looking at it now, is that they didn't have the proper tools and things that they needed to fix themselves like we do now. And so me experiencing all these things as a child, I began to rebel as any child would in a negative home. I went to the streets, you know, I joined a gang, and I believe that these people were giving me something that I didn't have at home. And in doing so, I was always in and out of jail, juvenile hall, a lot of stabbings, a lot of shootings, just a lot of violence, a lot of corruptness, a lot of Jezebels as well too. Just these poor young girls that just don't even know anybody, who grew up in bad homes themselves. And so, 18 years old, I just committed a crime where I was sentenced away for a couple of years, and I went to San Quentin prison at 18, and something has been lingering over me. Just have like some sort of dark thoughts, and I couldn't quite make it for what it was, but they even gave me the nickname Satan. That's what they used to call me. You know, my nicknames were Capone, Melimel, or Satan. That's what they used to call me. And I just so much darkness, you know what I mean? And after I got out, I was doing a lot of reading in there too, you know what I mean? I was just reading a lot of about the word, learning about the real darkness of the world, you know what I mean? And who controls what. I don't want to get into much of this to that, but I began to do more and more research about those things, you know what I mean? And so come around 2015, after extensive years of just researching, I was living in this house where we had no visitors because how ugly the house is, and we're really antisocial people, you know what I mean? And so one night I decided to go overboard and research all the way until like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was in shock and disbelief at, you know, after things that I've seen and the things that I've done and things that happened to me and the things that I've learned. I began to realize how Satan really runs this world. You know, he is the king of this world. And so I was in shock and disbelief. So I sat back, and before I went to bed, I asked God, if this is true, if this is real, just give me something. You know, I need something to believe, you know what I mean? To submit. And so I went to bed on that note. A couple hours later, I hear a knock on my door, and it was just these three people asking me. Again, nobody has ever visited this house ever in the years that I've been there. A knock on the door, and it was 3 people asking me if I had time for the word of Jesus Christ. Immediately I said yes. Immediately. And to the point where I kept them there. I kept asking questions and questions and questions, and they had to go to other places, but I kept them there. And so in my disbelief, I sat down when they left. I sat down on my couch, and I was in total shock. And I looked up to the sky, and I said it with my heart, obviously through words, but you say it with your heart. I believe that you're real. I know that you're real. I know Jesus is real. And so I felt this overwhelming sensation of just love and just warmness and just happiness, and just, I haven't had that feeling ever since I was a little kid, when everything was just good in my family. and I felt like a little kid again, like if I was 3 or 4 years old. And yeah, it was just a lot to take in, you know what I mean? And ever since then, I've just been trying to do more research and try to get into the word and try to spread the word and to let people know that this happiness is real. And that's my testimony.
That's fantastic.